Michelle McCormick here. I am the practice lead for communication platforms for EVOTEK. And I'm excited to be your moderator today for the call center track. And our sponsorship and lead sponsor for that track is actually Gridspace. And I have Michael Thornton on today, who is their head of sales. And he will be walking through the solution as it relates to the customer experience as well as the agent experience. And give you a high-level overview of their solution and offering and how it's impacting the call center space as a whole. So without further ado, it's 11:01. Let's get started, Michael. The floor is yours.
Perfect. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate that. And hey, super excited. Thank you for the opportunity. We just love EVOTEK. I love the fact that you guys bring new technologies and where the market is going out to the customer base rather than focus on the past. So this is really an exciting time, not only just, with what's going on with AI and machine learning. The world is changing and it's changing fast. So Gridspace, we are a machine learning AI company that really focuses on the science of speech and bringing that into the contact center. So what does that mean? Everybody is looking to get closer to their customer, right? We hear it all the time. They're doing web analytics and, customer 360 views. How do we, interact better and do analytics off of chat and chat bots? And, the social channels are certainly gaining a whole lot of steam right now. But we've been missing one really important channel in this whole thing. And that's the time where you are actually talking to your customers. And that's your agent customer interactions. That's what we're going to focus on. And it's really fun. It's an exciting space. I hate slides, so I hate going through a bunch of this stuff and reading things to you. I'm not going to do that. But we're a full platform. And we look at saying we don't want to use third-party technologies. We don't want to have to go through large integrations to make these things happen. So we packaged up a full, complete platform that's been built 100% by Gridspace. Focused on long-form conversational speech. So we're doing things like the call recording and, of course, analytics, but some really new, exciting things like voice biometrics so that you don't have to go through that big, long authentication process when you call in on, what's your, last 4 digits of security and your favorite pizza topping and all that stuff. Your customers just want to get into the engagement of solving their problem, ordering their product, or whatever reason in which they're calling you. But also, we're going to talk a little bit about our virtual agent, because this is a game changer and this is really, really exciting. It's how your customers want to engage with you through automation. The number one word spoken to an IVR is agent. People don't like talking to a robot, and we're changing the game when it comes to that. And the fun part is at the end here, we're going to actually get in and speak to a live bot. So who do we work with? We work with the best of the best, people that are the gold standards in contact centers. So people like USA and Bloomberg, Square. We handle over 1 billion minutes of conversations a year right now. And this is changing the way in which they drive that customer satisfaction score, the way in which they're presenting new products and new maybe sales offers out into their customer base. You want to keep that level high. Our customers are getting more and more demanding. They expect answers right now. They don't like going through the process. And so we want to engage in a way that's going to make it easy and convenient for them. But it's also about how do you make it super easy. That's going to be the theme you're going to hear about this whole thing is these projects and legacy technologies that are out there have been there for decades. And this whole area has been looking for transformation. And so we're all about how do you bring a platform to make it super, super simple. It shouldn't matter what backend telephony system is running. It shouldn't matter what cloud you want to be running in. It shouldn't matter where things like your metadata exist. Let's get these things up running and bringing calls through an environment incredibly fast. And we really focus on 2 primary areas. So one is on observability. So, hey, how do we see every call, transcribe every call with incredible accuracy? How do we bring up guidance to the agents that say, hey, present this offer. It sounds like they just got married. Maybe there's a family package or bundle they could get into today. Those are the sorts of things you want to do pretty immediately, but it really takes a foundation of getting it all right, understanding the language that's being spoken on both sides from both the agent and the customer. But really the new fun thing is really around virtual agents and how do you automate that human talent. We can't keep throwing bodies at the problem. Ultimately, our customers, yeah, they want to engage with humans, but there's a lot of super repeatable things, both inbound calls as well as outbound that you can make to your customers that can be done through automation. We're going to talk about how we bring AI and ML into those things. So as we kind of go through, I'm going to make it really simple because it is all about how do you make it easy. It's simple, simple, simple. We don't want to do integrations with 18 different third-party solutions to try and get everything from, like I said, QA and biometrics and transcription. You want a platform to do it. We want to move on to the business of our business, not having to focus on things like keeping integrated systems up and running. We want to keep it super flexible. We want to be able to add new modules into software super easily. We don't want to have to, again, go out and say it's going to require another integration. And of course, it's all about making it super fast. And so that's where we put 100% of the focus of our team. I loved it when Enrique earlier said that you have to have the best people to build the best companies. That's completely accurate. And so we were born out of SRI Labs, the people that created Siri and Nuance, but we really wanted to focus instead of the short-term, short speech of, what time is it or give me directions to. We really wanted to focus on that 15-minute long conversation and how do you get that right. And so we've hired the best to really solve that problem. Now, I want to look at the platform real quick, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but we'll go through a little bit. This is what we do. This is what we call SIFT, and it's because we sift through 100% of all your conversations, transcribe them to, like I said, incredible accuracy, the highest accuracy in the world, but also give you access to all the analytics that come with that. And so that means if I'm looking, as an example, I want to find angry callers. Who's calling in upset about us? I don't want to write 67 different queries and have to go to my data science team, to find all of those angry callers. I want the intent of anger. And so I want to just say, give me all angry calls, and it's going to automatically go out and find all the 67 different ways to say that I'm angry. I want to be able to dashboard things in real time. And this is really a neat new feature that's driven by that AI ML, which is, all right, I want to start trending on things I don't know to be looking for inside of my business. In other words, like here's a great example with USAA at the beginning of COVID. Nobody knew to write a query to trend on COVID and how often that's coming up in those discussions, or pandemic, those sorts of things. But with Gridspace, we're able to say, yesterday, we never heard the word COVID. Today, we heard it 367 times. Because of that, that's a new trend, and we need to pay attention to this. And it turns out, of course, not only was it the word COVID being mentioned, but it's also with the sentiment of, I'm concerned about being able to make my next payment. Wow, the business is able to take that away and make a business decision about how are we going to service those customers and maintain them as a customer. Of course, QA, everybody kind of understands the QA side of things, but we'll get into the voice biometrics, agent assist, and of course the bot. And we're going to spend time on the bot itself. So with that, again, I think I've covered this in quite a bit of detail, so I don't want, with the small time remaining, to spend too much time. But again, the basics of, hey, I want to be able to do that transcription. I want to be able to get the dashboard in QA. That is all of SIFT put together. The voice biometrics, this is a really exciting time for what's happening in the contact center. In that, again, I don't want to have to go through that first 60 to 90 seconds trying to prove who I am. I just want to get to solving my problem or answering my question. And so with voice biometrics, it's an opt-in for your customers. And we do two-factor authentication by taking another piece of metadata and saying, let's bring something else in to validate with high accuracy who you are and just get solving your problem. Of course, Relay is what some people think of as agent assist. And again, we want to help guide the people that are talking to our customers. And it's not just saying, hey, if you hear them say this particular phrase, like I need a loan deferral, here's the 3 things you need to ask about getting qualified for a loan deferral. It's also a lot of soft skills. It's things like slow down your speech, or maybe it's quit talking over your customer. Those are skills that just enhance the interaction and help you keep your CSAT scores even higher. And then we have Grace, and Grace is really, really exciting. So she is pretty indistinguishable from a human contact center agent. That's going to be a big difference. She also is creating and synthesizing her speech in real time. These aren't recordings. This is all taking place as the conversation is happening. And she's really capable of doing super complex tasks. So not just, you know, a typical IVR, you know, press 1 for this, press 2 for that, but, you know, start off a real conversation like it happens inside of the contact center with, how can I help you today? And from that, being able to go down the right path to be able to solve those questions or problems. So what I'm going to do is, rather than talk about Grace, I want to actually just get in and have a quick conversation with the bot.
Thanks for calling Optum Nurse Hotline. My name is Grace.
My apologies. I just hung up on myself. Give me one quick second here.
Thanks for calling Optum Nurse Hotline. My name is Grace. Can you explain to me the reason you're calling?
Yeah, I've got a really bad cough.
Okay, sorry to hear that. Let me pull up a few questions for you before I transfer you to a nurse. Please hold on a moment. All right. To clarify, are you calling about yourself or for someone else?
I'm calling about myself.
Okay. And has someone already offered you to speak with a nurse?
No, you're the first person I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm. All right. When did your symptoms start?
Oh, just a couple of days ago.
Okay. I'm going to ask a few questions about your cough. Is your cough productive, like you're coughing up mucus?
Yeah, I am coughing up mucus. I'm going to go ahead and stop her there because she'll start to probably ask some pretty gross questions. But there's kind of a lot going on there. And one of the most exciting parts about all of this is bots are the future. It is how we are interacting more and more with our customer base. And again, not just when people call in, but how do you reach out to your customers to get data? And we don't want to spend years or quarters trying to write these bots. And so with Gridspace, we've built a user interface that allows somebody as non-technical as myself to be able to build these bots. So it's about, again, easy, easy, easy. But you'll also notice a few things happening in that quick discussion. One, she didn't ask me to press 1 for this or press 2 for that. I just simply started telling what my problem was. Secondly, a lot of the little nuances that take place, things like the and all right, it makes it just very conversational. I don't have to answer with things like, you know, 1 day since my cough started, or yes, no. I can actually speak in the way I naturally speak to another human being. So with that, that's Gridspace. We're excited to be able to work with you guys. Thank you, EVOTEK. You guys are leaders in what you do, and we're excited to get more time with you all.
Yep. Thank you, Michael.